But since we've been gone, raped and stole from our ancestral home, leaving I all alone.
Wow, this has been the most soul-filled, spirit-moving album that I have ever experienced in my 50 years of living. I have never been so touched in my life. Priestess Kwananu, how do you feel about being an intricate part of this profound album?
Miss Sister, bluntly speaking, I feel absolutely blessed to be a part of a family community order led by the High Priest Kwatamani. Honestly, he is the most action-oriented bringer of supreme truth that I have ever encountered in my life. An elder who forwards the resurrection of the first teacher, the solar female. I am overwhelmed with joy knowing that I am a part of a sisterhood, the Kwatamani Royal Sisterhood. The first living example of unified femininity that I have ever experienced. A sisterhood which wholeheartedly nurture while forwarding the essence of feminine affection to the offspring and divine guidance and protection of solar masculinity. I feel so blessed to be a part of a holistic living expression of this album simply because I am singing about the life that I am living, a holistic living way of life, where the elders uphold the principles of mental, physical and spiritual fitness as the key to resurrecting the generation next. At a very young age, I had already witnessed so much, and as such, it made it easy for I to make a conscious choice to align with the message of whole life change that is encoded in the Kwatamani song.
The power of conscious choice.
Fortunately, the High Priest Kwatamani's teachings showed I that although I have been a victim of circumstances, I did not have to remain in that victimized state. I'm talking about circumstances that come about as a result of one's physical characteristics and traits within a color-coded social order that adversely affects the mental state of both the victims and the victimizers. In fact, I used to cry when I think about where I was. However, the more I encounter the supreme teachings forwarded through the Kwatamani vibration, the more I begin to desire whole life change. And finally, I choose to exit that victim mentality.
I just love how the High Priest Kwatamani brings forward that higher conscious reasoning that is expressed in this album. I especially appreciate the song that emphasizes that it is not about the color of one's skin, but rather about the state of consciousness that one lives within. This is a much needed healing message, a definite must for all of us.
Shake that mindset, pale and cold.
Shake the renegade mindset, your soul.
Shake that renegade mindset, shake your renegade mindset at your soul. Regardless of the color of your skin.
He and she a man, one race, tracked and traced through the original DNA base. Yeah, do tell, this color-coded game has been played very well. A pale veil of deception to cloud one perception in a toxic parallel.
Priestess Kwananu, just keeping it real with you here. When looking at the circumstances that I have faced as a female of dark skin color tones, I was really wondering about your reasoning regarding the light, bright, and damn near white syndrome.
The High Priest Kwatamani teaches that we are all children of the sun, all offspring from the same ancestral melanin-infused parenting lineage. However, some sun children were adversely affected by the cold and freezing experiences of the Ice Age ordeal. Ordeals that produce a cold-blooded, invasive hunting, herding and warring culture that was spread as a result of the deep freeze meltdown. The Babylon system and all of its offspring systems were born out of this nature of energy. We are talking about populations that suffered from mental, physical and spiritual malnourishment, adverse effects that still affect so many among man he and she till today. Bluntly speaking, I have chosen to honor and glorify my ancestral DNA. We are talking about a solarized melanin-infused consciousness which is far more significant than the color tones of one's skin. The High Priest Kwatamani makes it simple for one to see and sense the problem while making it clear the need to detox, purge and heal from the adverse effects of the pale mental mindset. He also makes it clear that we have to eat our way out of this insanity. Within a holistic living environment, where living plant-based consumption is our reality. As you can see, I have been taught well, and for the record, I love my Supreme Teacher beyond anyone's imagination because he brings it live, raw, and in living color. That is what I have to say about this album that I feel so proud to be a part of.
Wow. On that note, what are your thoughts about the reaction to Jesse Williams, actor, activist from Black Lives Matter, who addressed the ongoing and continuous police shooting incident that have left so many young black males dead?
Well, the brother spoke truth, but the truth is not received so well in a social order that perpetuates deception and profits off a conflict, division, and strife. But there is a sacred few of us who definitely appreciate whole life truth. It's about identifying the problem and activating the solution. The holistic living messaging of this album will definitely rock the soul of any truth seeker, anyone who is seeking change and who has the guts, the will, the dignity, humility, and the desire to tune into the blessed message. Encodes of higher conscious thoughts and reasoning in action. The High Priest Kwatamani makes it clear that the key to whole life change is the woman, the first teacher. If those who seek change do not reach her with enough energy to entice her whole life movement, change will not be sustained. Simply because the woman will continue to produce the same mindset in her offspring, even more disconnected from whole life reality. What I can definitely say is that this album and all the other messages of the High Priest Kwatamani provides a precision, well-drafted roadmap to whole life solutions for man, he and she, who honor the sacred ancestral solar presence that is the essence of his or her being. Anyone who desires to see change has to be the change. What I could say to everyone is get the album. Spend some of the change in your pocket to support whole life change for a change.
Tell you what, I got mine already. But after interviewing with you, I just committed to buying 10 more to give to a few people I know.
Living not all alone.